Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just cover why actually we need science communication, and then considerations that we have been giving at country level, the various styles, and then the spectrum, and then I'll also focus on actually, someone mentioned COVID-19. So I picked some information to really share also what happened in our context and also what is needed as we move forward. So ideally, the difference we are looking at here, we have science communication, but then also we have scientific communication. So science communication, ideally we are just informing, educating, and raising awareness on science-related topics to the general public and non-expert audience. And then here, scientific communication, we are communicating new knowledge findings. These are scientific findings following specific scientific methods. And normally we have not got it right. So when the scientists are communicating, they normally take a scientific communication approach to the lay people and of course the non-expert audience. So this is something we need to chew as we proceed. Now, we need to know who are we communicating with, what, and how we are communicating. It's also a principle that we need to look at very seriously. The other view, the styles of communicating. When you're communicating to researchers, and then of course public, there are different areas you should look at. And ideally with scientists, researcher level, you're looking at results, conclusions, and supporting details. But to the general public, you're looking at, so what? You've already done a research and these are results. What can the public gain from that? And what is the bottom line? And then we also have a synergy between communication and public engagement. This is where we are looking at civic society and science prayers, but then also society at large. What elements are we looking at when it comes to public participation, communication, and then outreach? Now, there is a common saying that, this was by Albert Einstein. He said that if you can't explain it simply, then you don't understand it well enough. So this is very, very important for public engagement. You need to be very able to understand the subject and communicate very well. So we are looking at elements of information provision. We are looking at consultation, involvement, and delegation. These aspects in public engagement should be taken into consideration. And this is the approach we have been taking at Ugandan level. Now, in COVID-19, you saw the challenges that came. But at the same time, we were privileged to know the importance of timely and free access to scientific data, publications, and information. We also looked at importance of collaborations, and then the influence of science policy society dialogue. And then, of course, the human right to enjoy the benefits of scientific progress. These are the lessons that we got. And then we also noted that science advice in terms of COVID was very important, and science is dynamic. It moves, to cure some uncertainties when you openly communicate to the public. Now, other lessons that we came across to understand during COVID, we need to have a picture of actually relating causation to the general cause of the idea or the challenge. But then also we realize that absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. So these are principles that we came across moving forward. The issue of fake news and information overload, you as journalists and scientists, this is something you need to look at, and in Uganda we have really ensured that fact checking becomes a priority moving forward on whatever is happening at media coverage. So a strategy to address all these fake news is very, very important. So that's the cycle of fact checking. So whatever you get, ideally you must double check and also ensure that factual information is given. You just don't see clips and just forward like that. Ensure that they are from trusted sources. And of course, how true the authority that is sharing that. information. And then when it comes to engagement of media practitioners and influencers, Uganda has organized some trainings and of course supported engagements between scientists and journalists, and of course allocated substantial budgets for communication and advocacy to ensure that actually there is a clear role of media practitioners. These photos are not clear, but you can look at the other screens. Another thing that we have used to really communicate, seeing is believing tours, where you see that was a confined field trial of maize, and the other one was a confined field trial of cassava. So Uganda is a leader in these areas when it comes to genetically modified maize and in cassava. So people normally also have a glimpse, a clear glimpse when actually they know what is happening, directly seeing and believing. And then of course the other avenue, we've had exhibitions, and these are also sharing information across science and technology forums moving forward. And then the other key issue, youth engagement, moving forward, how do we engage our youth, and of course different other special groups, the children and the students. Here you will see community engagement. This was a photo from Target Malaria team, how actually they were engaging the communities moving forward. Here they were engaging civil-based organization. So now I'll end on this slide. But in all that we do, we need effective science communication plans. And this is what we have realized as Uganda moving forward. We need to ensure that project targets, identification on main and secondary stakeholders are done. And then of course you communicate in phases, especially project phases, goals and timings. And then of course communication channels and tools. This is very, very important. You must map out to see what tools you're going to use as you communicate to ensure that you have precise target. And then of course, a clear communication plan, timing and scheduling of the communication activities for all identified phases. So that's the brief approach Uganda has been taking in this science communication. But of course, gaps still remain in terms of misinformation, disinformation, so malinformation. So there are very many aspects that we are getting challenges with, but with clear strategies, media practitioners and journalists, but also collaborating with scientists, we shall be able to address all. So that's the brief I had for Uganda, and thank you for listening to me.